Volkswagen intermission sticks. Caps leading the Bruins 5-3. In that period, the Bruins outshot Washington 19-8. Plays. Caps 1 for 1. Bruins 2 for 3. And Boston took 9 minutes in penalties while Washington took 11 minutes in penalties while Washington took 11. Our Volkswagen intermission statistics are brought to you by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers. It's time to look at a Volkswagen again. Now the giant food out-of-town scoreboard. Philadelphia with a lead over Quebec of 3-2. Ken Regan in goal against Sergei Milnikov for Quebec. Yuri Latal, the new Czechoslovakian player for the Flyers, has scored for Philadelphia. So is Ron Sutter and Pelle Eklund. Joe Sakic has scored for Quebec, along with Tony McKegney. What do you think of that trade? McKegney going from Detroit up to Quebec. And in the Detroit papers yesterday, there was considerable concern about the whereabouts of Greg Adams.
Really?
Had not shown up yet after a couple of days driving time. They'd received one call relating to some sort of car trouble, but they couldn't understand Jacques Demers saying he could drive that in the worst rat trap car possible in 30 hours, and Adams had longer than that, still hadn't shown up.
Well, you think Greg would be ready? I mean, he's been dealt coast to coast in the last year and a half. He's been in Washington, Vancouver, going now to Quebec, then to Detroit. They should be able to get packed and on the move pretty quickly now.
The Red Wings were hoping that they could get Adams in time for their game at Minnesota tonight. Right here, it's 5-3, Washington with the lead, and we're underway with period 3. An offside called here against the Washington Capitals.
Capitals, when they hold a lead after 3 periods, undefeated so far this year. 10 victories and 3 ties. Not a single loss when they are leading after 2 periods of play. The Boston Bruins, when they are trailing after 2 periods of play, they have only won 1 time. 1 victory against 6 losses. So Dino Ciccarelli and the Capitals certainly have that statistic on their side, and that's where the way the Capitals are going to have to play this period. They're going to have to just play confident. Know they've got a 2-goal lead. Don't play to protect the 2-goal lead. They've been getting good scoring opportunities all night long, so keep at it.
Here's Semeta, drop pass at the point. Weimer a shot. Beaupre the pad save. Rebound. Weimer had half the net open up top and fired it over the goal. Now Miller pops it over the glass and into the crowd, out of play.
Here's where I think Jim Weimer makes a mistake. He made a good play to get the puck and put a hard shot on Beaupre initially. But when the rebound comes back, he sees that Beaupre is down, but he winds up for a slap shot. Now, this is so much tougher to control. Look, he takes the wrist shot initially. Now, when Beaupre is down, he comes in with the slap shot. And I'm sure he's trying to maybe beat Calle Johansson to it, but you'd think he'd get that same snapshot, which is a lot more accurate and easier to control. He didn't miss by much, but it's a lot tougher to get that slap shot in that perfect spot as opposed to the wrist shot. And Beaupre was down. Weimer had plenty to shoot at.
I think in a crowd there, he was just hoping for the pinball effect, which you're not going to get when you shoot it that high. It's not going to go in off somebody's head. But he had a lot of room upstairs to shoot. Puck played off the glass to center, and it dribbles back to the blue line, picked up there by Weimer. Lead pass for Lindsman. Slap shot from just inside the blue line, missing wide, and now Bork has it poked away. Back to Scott Stevens. Sends to center ice. Stevens back in his own zone. Leads it ahead for Courtnall. Courtnall hooked by Burridge on the play. There's going to be a penalty call here as Burridge just pulled Courtnall right down, and that'll give Washington.
And now for $3,500 to $5,000 factory cashback.
Much like the penalty earlier where Leach hooked. At that time it was Brickley down to the ice. Jeff Courtnall certainly helps this call along, gets it from Bill McCreary. Capitals were a perfect 2 for 2 on the power play this afternoon. Now a chance to pad their lead.
Here's Bork behind the net. Too far for Neely out to center ice, and Hatcher takes over back in his own zone. Kevin Hatcher passes to Ridley with open ice at the blue line. He throws it left wing side for Ciccarelli. Now back into the corner for Ridley. To Dino Ciccarelli. Back to the point. Johansson a drive, a save, a shot, and a goal! On the rebound. The Capitals go in front 6-3 on a power play score.
Boy, this is another one that Andy Moog should have had. He makes the save, leaves the rebound out front, but again, he gets no help from his defenseman in front, allowing Ridley to just walk in. Johansson puts a great shot in there, but with Moog kicking the leg out and falling down, he's not in any position to do anything with the rebound. And there's a capital body standing around in front, ready for that loose puck. Nice pass out to Johansson, who puts the good one-timer on. This is why it's so valuable to have a guy who can shoot like that from the point. Keeps it low, forces the goaltender to give up a rebound because that's a tough puck to control for a goaltender. But the defense for the Boston Bruins don't do the job of clearing Mike Ridley and Kelly Miller away. Ridley gets it, and the Caps with a lot more breathing room now.
Ridley's 12th of the season, his 4th power play goal of the year. Johansson and Cicerelli get the assists at 1:58. And the Boston Garden crowd is quieted considerably from where they were in terms of their vocal level at the end of the second period.
Hey, Mike, the one key I see about the improvement in the Capitals power play this afternoon is simply the quickness with which the forwards, and particularly that man down on the wing boards, in this case it was Cicerelli, have been getting the puck back to the point man, and it's clean. So many times lately the Capitals have had trouble working that little two-man game to free the point man for a good shot. They've been missing him, getting it out of the zone, or the point men haven't been putting good shots on the net. But the Capital point man, Johansson, scored the first power play goal with a great individual effort, and here he puts another strong shot on goal because he's been set up in good position, something the Capital forwards have not been doing for the point men lately.
Leach works it free at the side of the net. Jammed up by Hawgood. Hatcher delivers behind the goal. Here's Dave Christian over after. Christian held up by Wesley. Hawgood tying up on the play. Wesley allows Leach to get free, and now Blum chases it to the corner. Hawgood and Christian battle. Courtnall out to Leach, shoots wide. Lyndon Byers works it to center ice. Carter across the blue line. Back into the Washington zone. Scott Stevens takes over. Here's Stevens out to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher works to center. He's across the line. Floats it to the side of the goal, and it's stopped there by Andy Moog. Caps leading 6-3 here in the third period. Lyndon Byers on the right wing. Around Langway. Tries to stuff it in the side, and it's stopped there by Beaupre, and he covers up to stop play.
Great schedule for the Capitals in December at the Capitol Center when they return home from this Eastern Road swing on the 12th. The Soviet team Kimmich, which leads the Soviet Elite League right now, comes to the Capitol Center at 7:35. All fans receive a friendship team poster courtesy of Safeway and Capital Cadillac. On the 15th, it's the Islanders as they face off against the Caps. That's an 8:05 game, and that night all fans receive a Patrick Division Championship lapel pin. Then on the 23rd, the division leading Rangers in town at 7:35. You can get tickets for all of those games. They're available at all Hex ticket centers, or call phone charge area code 202-432-0200.
Here's Carpenter behind the goal, held up by Rod Langway. John Druce tries to work it free, gets it to Kyprios, out to center ice, and now Wickenheiser taken away by Bork. Ray Bork for Boston. Leads a pass ahead to Semeta. To the left point. Bork winds, fires. And knocked down by Beaupre, and he covers up in front. Johansson giving Linsman a shove, keeping him out of there. Had a goaltender just cover a rebound. The last guy you want to leave loose around the front of that net is Linsman.
And you can see with Linsman charging the front and how that puck hits off the skates of Carpenter, changed direction a little bit, but also slowed down considerably. Beaupre scrambling along in an effort to try and get some offense out here. Mike Milbury has got two center icemen out there, Carpenter and Linsman. Semeta, normally a left wing, is lining up on the right wing side, so Milbury trying to juggle the lines to get some offense out there, to try and play catch-up as he's down by 3 with 16:01 left in the third period. Of course, Bobby Carpenter played a pretty good amount of left wing in his days with the Washington Capitals.
It gets away from Galley at the point, and Cicerelli hooked by Semeta, and Galley takes over. Good defensive play there by Semeta. Now here's Cicerelli inside the Boston zone. A shot by Ridley off the side of the Bruin net. Here comes Carpenter to center. Now to Cicerelli. Sheehy dumps it back inside the Bruin zone. Gary Galley back to take it. 15 and a half minutes to play here in the third period. Washington leads 6-3. Bob Carpenter over to Glenn Wesley. At the blue line, they tie up. Linesman Mark Vines has to hop up on the bench and sit on the boards. Here comes Scott Stevens. Passes for Cicerelli off his stick at the line, and Wesley back to take it. Glenn Wesley out to center, stolen by Dave Christian. Passes for Courtnall, but Brickley takes it away. Burridge taken away by Scott Stevens. Leads the pass to Hunter. Hunter across the line to Hatcher. Hatcher coming on, centers right to the goal mouth. Nobody there. Back come the Bruins, a 3-on-2. Left side, Brickley in across the line. Fires, Beaupre the save. Rebound! And Beaupre stops that. Stopping a hard slap shot from Don Sweeney on the rebound. Bork up the boards for Neely now, back in the Boston zone. Again for Sweeney. Holder bumps him. Hatcher plays to the corner for Hunter. Back to the point again. Sweeney tees it up. His shot blocked by Hunter. Here comes Courtnall. Courtnall to the blue line and fires just as the whistle blows. Christian was offside. Now Neely says something to Christian, or rather to Courtnall, about shooting at the whistle. The whistle went at about the same time the shot did.
Beaupre said his groin pull injury really hurt him most when he goes down and tries to get back up. Well, here he does. He's down to block the shot, but look how quickly he gets back up in good, strong position and comes out challenging there and stops that Don Sweeney rebound shot.
What a great paint job on that mask. Look at that. The Capitol building right on that mask Don Beaupre's wearing, and you expect the stars and stripes, but that is incredible detail. I really like that mask. Leach across the line to Kyprios. Kyprios into the corner. Behind the net. Hawgood works it free and sends it up the boards for Carter. Right side pass for Lyndon Byers. Back into the Washington zone. Wesley keeps it in, but Beaupre there to make the save. Beaupre talking to Wickenheiser and Langway after making the glove stop there. Bruins with an incredible shot total in that second period. They outshot Washington 19-8. So far here in the third, the Bruins have 5 shots on goal and the Capitals have 4.
Only one I could really fault them for was the first one that the Bruins scored in that period, the Brickley power play goal. 2 of the 3 goals Boston scored, of course, came on the power play, and I think that's where you could see on that play Don Beaupre not getting back up quickly enough in time, but he looks like as the game has gone on, he's gotten better, more confident.
Bork at the point, walks in, fires, it hits Stevens' skate. Now back over to Lindsman. Mike Miller overskates the puck, and it's picked up by Washington's Kelly Miller. Brings to Scott Stevens. Stevens across the blue line, over to Ridley. Bork ties him up, and Lindsman takes over again for the Bruins. Flips it back into the corner. Here's Miller. Jammed up on the play. Scott Stevens standing there, and the puck comes loose to Lindsman. Carpenter fires and misses up high. Going for the top corner. Back comes Sheehy for Washington. Bork takes him out. Now Kelly Miller, a shot and a goal. Kelly Miller, after Sheehy had been rubbed out on the play. And the Capitals go in front 7-3.
Well, Mike, that's something we talked about. The Capitals certainly not standing back and protecting a lead. It's Neil Sheehy, the defenseman, who goes in and tries to make a play, not content just to dump in. You see, this shot doesn't miss him by much. He's spinning around down there on the ice.
I was worried about Sheehy's head when he wound up.
But Kelly Miller drills it, but here is Sheehy trying to make a play, taken down on the play, and there is Kelly Miller just drilling the shot right by him. Capitals working both ends of the ice so well in this third period. They've completely thwarted any momentum Boston had coming out of that second period, and they have dominated the whole afternoon and have a 7-3 lead to show for it.
Cicerelli get the assists on Miller's 11th goal of the season. Time of the goal, 7:19 of period 3. Caps lead 7-3 over the Bruins. Long lead pass for Neely at center ice. Now Burridge takes over and slaps it back inside the Washington zone. Holder lines up Neely. Dale Hunter has the puck. Brings it ahead for Dave Christian. Christian across the blue line. Cutting in on the right wing. His shot blocked. And the Bruins come back. Here's Brickley down the left wing side. Brickley in behind the goal. Hatcher takes the puck away. Christian flips it to center ice, and Sweeney back to get it at the red line. Gives to Burridge. He drives it on into the Washington zone. Kevin Hatcher out to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser shifts it over on right wing for Alan May. May throws it behind the net. Kyprios has his pass taken away by Byers. Long lead pass too far for John Carter. And Beaupre leaves that in the corner now for Langway. Up the boards to Alan May. Outside the zone. Now we've got a fight going with Alan May and Lyndon Byers right at the blue line. And May has a grip on Byers around the neck. Now cuts loose with a couple of right hands. Now, Alan May with a couple of roundhouse lefts. And really corked Lyndon Byers a couple. He shifted hands there after having the first couple punches be with a right hand. And then the best punches in that bout were left hands going on to Lyndon Byers, and he popped him a couple of pretty good ones.
And he knows it. We'll be back for the penalty calls. Caps lead it 7-3.
Second fight that he was involved with today. The earlier one with Bobby Gould, who was kicked out of the game at that time. 7-3 Capitals. 48 seconds left in May's minor penalty for instigation. And the Bruins can't keep it inside the Washington zone. Caps have scored both goals that were scored in this third period. Centering pass grabbed by Dale Hunter. He starts back. Hunter flips it into the corner. Dave Christian goes after it. Bumped by Hawgood. And as Linsman cuts across the line, the Bruins are offside.
How would you like to win 2 tickets to the NHL All-Star Game January 21st in Pittsburgh, or win other prizes of Caps tickets to upcoming home games? To win, all you have to do is enter the Capitals Campbell's Chunky Soup All-Star Fan Sweepstakes. To enter, send your name, address, phone number, and the Campbell's Chunky Soup slogan, "It takes care of the meanest appetites," to Capitals Campbell's Chunky Soup Sweepstakes, Post Office Box 1234, Hyattsville, Maryland 20785. You must be 18 years old. Grand prize winner to be selected by random.
Gary Galley throws the puck back inside the Washington zone, and Rob Semeta back to take it. Now Sheehy back of the net and clears it out of the zone to center ice. Kelly Miller has it for Washington across the line. Dino Cicerelli goes to the corner. Dino with 2 goals and 2 assists in this game today. Galley hangs on to Miller. Cicerelli and Weimer jam up. And the puck cleared all the way down the ice. Scott Stevens. Weaving in his own end, now throws it right side for Sheehy, up to Leach, and Christian just drives it on into the Boston zone. Courtnall slowing down John Carter as he tries to come out. 8 minutes to play, third period. Weimer ahead for Robert Joyce, taken away by Courtnall, but Bork poke checks it free to the sideboards. Mike Miller up to Carter for Boston, throws it back into the Washington zone. Joyce bumped by Leach. And here's Hatcher. Over to Courtnall. Joyce throws it all the way down, back inside the Washington zone. Hatcher back to get it. And works to center ice to Holder. He dumps it inside the Boston zone. John Druce to the corner, pinned by John Blum. Now back to Wickenheiser. Works it to Druce. Over to Kyprios. Now back to Wickenheiser. Checked by Brickley. Blum back to chase him. And Langway back to his own line, lined up by Neely. And Neely has run Langway a couple of times in this game today. Here's Johansson. Loses his edge and the puck. And back comes Brickley. And his pass to Burridge, shot just wide. Blum bumped in the corner. Langway has it. Leads it out on the right wing side for Druce. Here's Druce to center. Throws it past Wesley into the corner. Capitals won a line change with 6.5 minutes to play in period 3. Wesley. Off his edge. And now Holder cuts in and fires. And a knockdown. Now the rebound shot just wide of the net. Wesley grabs it behind the goal. Taken away by Hunter. Dale Hunter pinned against the backboards. Neely is there after it. And now the gloves drop between Neely and Sheehy. And Gord Brasiker already in the middle of it, trying to break it up. And now Mark Vines joins in and keeps them apart.
And it looked like Neely just tried to kick Sheehy.
There was already going to be an original penalty call coming from Bill McCreary, who had his arm raised.
I think that was going to go against Wesley.
Wesley had been tied up with Hunter, and I thought that's where the penalty call was coming in the original. But now Neely and Sheehy continue to try and press towards one another. And this will more than likely do it for them with only 6 minutes and 8 seconds to play in the third. They may just head right to the dressing room, depending on how much time they're getting. We'll be back to sort it out after this.
Capitals. Neely joins Lyndon Byers in the penalty box and Wesley in there as well. So it will be the original penalty. It's going to be right here on Glenn Wesley. Then there's the collision between Sheehy and Neely. And they quickly got the gloves off. There's probably no tougher player on the ice than Cam Neely. Neil Sheehy was ready to go. Bam, bam, Cam.
Slashing the minor call to Wesley, and then 5-minute fighting majors to Sheehy and Neely. 13:52 the time of the calls. So Washington with a power play chance here as Wesley's time is up on the clock. And that's the last thing the Bruins need at this point. They're down by 4 though, and only 6 minutes to play.
Caps a perfect 3 for 3 this afternoon with the extra man.
Here's Courtnall to dump it into the corner. Cleared back to the point. It hops over the stick of Scott Stevens. And now a penalty call is coming as Stevens tried to slow up John Carter. And he'll be penalized for tripping. Both teams will be at even strength when we return. Walked in, a 2-on-1 with Christian. A pass, a shot, and a goal!
Solid choice.
You see the puck skipping over the stick of Scott Stevens. Reaches out with the stick to try and slow up Carter. Not the only thing Scott could do. You don't want to give the guy the breakaway. He gets called for tripping at 14-12.
Carter playing it smart. You can't get through the crowd. Jump over the crowd. A lot of times it'll help him along, and it did there. No power play then. Although Boston will have a man advantage with Stevens still in the box when Wesley comes back. Right now 4 skaters aside, and John Carter fires, and Beaupre makes the save. Here comes Christian up on the right wing, gets across the blue line. Dave Christian looks for Kevin Hatcher, but Bourque steals and sends it up the boards for Carter. Now back to Raymond Bourque on the left wing side, and here comes Carter to center ice, and Carter works across the blue line of Washington, tied up there by Langway. Carter drops it back. Galley into the corner. Linsman goes behind the net after it, but he's beaten to the puck by Hatcher. Hatcher works it free for Rod Langway. Langway starts out, passes to Christian. Over Over on the right side for Cicerelli. Off his skate. He drops it back to Langway. In 30 seconds, Wesley will be back on the ice for Boston. Here's Ridley up to center ice. Gets across the blue line. Spun around by Don Sweeney. Throws it behind the net. Sweeney back to take it. Plays it up the sideboards, and Holder can't keep it in. Ridley held up on the play by Linsman. Langway back in his own zone to Bill Holder. And now it's cleared all the way out to center by Holder as Wesley's out of the box. Bruins have the power play for 15 seconds. 4 minutes to play here in the third period. Brickley to the corner. Taken away by Holder. And clears it all the way down the ice back inside the Boston zone. Gary Galley back to retrieve. Left side for Bork. Over to Semeta. Hunter takes it away. And it's led ahead to Courtnall down the left wing side. Jeff Courtnall, right side pass Hunter, but on his backhand he couldn't get rid of it. Bork was right with him. Back come the Bruins on the attack. Mike Miller to center ice. Long slap shot wide. Both teams now at full strength. Here's Courtnall. Up the boards for Leach. Leads it too far for Hunter. Mike Miller. Over on the right wing. Rubbed out by Hatcher. And Brickley takes it away. Blocked by Scott Stevens. Hatcher behind the goal. Up the boards to the point. Wesley keeps it in. Kevin Hatcher. Left side for Courtnall. In across the Boston blue line. Brings it to Leach in the corner. Now Hunter fires up high, riding off the shoulder of Andy Moe. Back comes Hawgood for Boston. Flips it into the corner. Scott Stevens back to get it. 2.5 minutes to play here in the third period of this game. Washington leads 7-3. Scott Stevens ahead for John Druce. And it's popped into the Bruin bench. 2:21 to go here in the third period. We'll be back after this. Only 2 minutes to play here in the third period. Capitals leading the Boston Bruins 7-3. Mike Forns with Al Koken here on WDCA TV 20. As the Caps continue their fine road play of late. Caps hoping to move back to 28 points. That would put them ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. They came into the game tied with Pittsburgh.
Mike, you see how simple the Caps keep things on the road. Look how quickly they've been passing tonight. Nobody's really been holding on to the puck for any extended length of time, particularly in the power play. Good, quick, sharp passing, getting it out of the zone.
Here's Langway. Overskates it. Carpenter reaches, but Cicerelli gets there first and fires on net. It's often been said that the Capitals are a team molded after the Boston Bruins. And David Poyle will tell you that in terms of the organization. I've often thought the Capitals would do well playing in this building as their home rink.
The way they forecheck, they'd be outstanding in this building. One of the other things I think has been such a key tonight for Washington, Mike, is particularly at even strength. They've pretty much neutralized Raymond Bourque, who was so important in the Bruin attack. They've had somebody on him. He has not been able to get these end-to-end rushes. They haven't been able to, Bruins haven't been able to find him clear at the point. He's got a couple of assists, but both have come on the power play. But at even strength, Washington's done a nice job of neutralizing the man who really makes this Bruin attack go.
That's an uncharacteristic giveaway by Bourque earlier in the game.
That's the forechecking pressure. Get on him quick. Make him give up the puck. He's like Coffey in that regard. If you can get these guys to give up the puck before they can get some steam through the neutral zone, you take away so much of their effectiveness.
He is still a talent well beyond the magnitude of the average player in this league. In fact, beyond, I would think, most of the better defensemen in this league. He's truly in a class by himself.
Well, you know, Mike Milbury makes a great point. He says, you know, hey, it's one thing everybody expects this guy to be a leading Norris Trophy candidate, but why isn't he mentioned more as an MVP in the league? Everybody talks about the MVPs being Gretzky, Lemieux, Yzerman, the guys who score the big points. Why not this guy?
Puck shot into the crowd, out of play. Offensive thinking, I guess. You know, the thing that marked Orr apart perhaps from Bork was all those points. And Bork gets a lot of points, but not like number 4.
And you also see up on those rafters the number 7 retired for Phil Esposito, and it'll give you an idea what a class guy Raymond Bork is. He's wearing number 7 throughout his entire career, but they want to retire it for Esposito, so he agrees to wear 77, surprises everybody, goes to center ice, takes off the number 7 jersey, hands it to Esposito, and he's got 77 on his own back. That's a class act.
What a night that was in this building. 13 seconds to play here in the 3rd period. Scott Stevens backs to his own zone. Washington will win their 12th game of the season and their 7th road victory of the year. Linsman out to center ice as time runs out, and the Washington Capitals have beaten the Boston Bruins. The final score today, 7-3. Shots on goal in the 3rd period for Washington. They had 8 third period shots, a game total of 25. And Boston with 6 shots in the 3rd period, a game total of 36. The Bruins now 16-10-3. They stay at 35 points, 3rd in the Adams division. And the Capitals move back into sole possession of 3rd place in the Patrick Division race with 28 points, 2 points ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Their record now 12 wins, 13 losses, and 4 ties on the season. It's the first time the Bruins have lost to a Patrick Division team this year, and Washington now has won 3 games against the Adams while losing 2. Back with today's post-game show after these words.